Ms Lauder.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We're pleased to support Mr Barr's motion today that the Assembly adopt the southern brush-tailed rock wallaby as the mammal emblem for the ACT. It is a good choice. It's easily recognisable as an Australian animal. It's a distinctive animal of the Australian high country and has an important story in a conservation sense. Kids will be able to relate to it, and it has important connections with Indigenous traditions and stories. It's also a success story, if you like, by ACT Parks and Conservation in maintaining the large captive population as a way of reintroducing the southern brush-tailed rock wallaby to the ACT. And it does partner with the gang as our bird emblem and the royal bluebell as our plant emblem as important symbols of the ACT. In November 2017, the Legislative Assembly asked the committee to inquire into the proposal for a mammal emblem of the ACT, and the committee received 29 submissions from the community, and the committee ended up looking at the most frequently nominated animals: the eastern bettong, the spotted-tailed quoll, the southern brush-tailed rock wallaby, the echidna and the little forest bat. And the committee considered the factors including the animal's connection to the ACT region, its contribution to the local environment, whether it was classified as vulnerable or endangered, and the potential for publicity as the territory emblem to contribute to important conservation efforts was something to factor in. So there ended up being the two front runners that went to a public poll, and of course they were the eastern bettong and the southern brush-tailed rock wallaby. Many members of the public and organisations participated in both the submissions and the public poll, and I would like to make mention of the Twitter war between Brian Bettong, who's one of the cutest little creatures that you will ever meet, and Rhonda the rock wallaby. And it's my understanding that David Shiraz has a very close working relationship with Rhonda the rock wallaby and is very welcoming of Rhonda's ultimate success to be chosen as the mammal emblem of the ACT. It's a wider issue that we're thinking about here, and that is the importance of symbols and their history and how they relate to our territory, because symbols have and will continue to have an important cultural and historical importance. So the symbols that you choose to represent your territory or your city or any of those other entities reflects on that entity. Every culture and society has its own set of symbols, and they're associated with different experiences and perceptions. It's a very human experience. So in Canberra and the ACT, the symbols that we have represent what is unique about us and what reflects the different aspects of our culture and history. In a sense, in some senses, we are a young community, but we have the opportunity to incorporate Indigenous symbols into our symbolism here, and that reflects the much longer and broader history of the ACT and the surrounding region. And our symbols will grow with importance with the passage of time and generations, as each generation learns about the symbols that we've chosen. Now the southern brush-tailed rock wallaby will take its place in the story of Canberra. And it joins an important list of Canberra symbols. So today, the Chief Minister has announced that the southern brush-tailed rock wallaby will become the mammal emblem of the ACT. Over 20 years ago, in 1997, the then Chief Minister, Kate Carnell, announced the gang cockatoo emblem for the ACT. In 1993, Rosemary Follett, as Chief Minister, announced the Australian Capital Territory flag, which featured the Southern Cross and a modified form of the Canberra City's coat of arms. And on that flag, the colours of blue, gold and white were chosen for good reason, because blue and white are the livery colours of the city, which is shown by the wreath above the shield on the Canberra City coat of arms, while blue and gold are the traditional sporting colours of the ACT, and were taken from the national blue and gold appearing on the wreath of the Australian coat of arms. The choice of colours maintains existing traditions and reflects a link with national history and preserves heraldic tradition. In 1982, Prime Minister Fraser announced the royal bluebell as the floral emblem of the ACT. And as far back as 1928, of course, Prime Minister Stanley Bruce announced the coat of arms for the city of Canberra. And that was created at the request of the Department of Defence for use on the City of Canberra newly commissioned ship, HMAS Canberra. So these are a long range of traditions, many of which are intertwined with each other and build on that history of symbols, and the southern brush-tailed rock wallaby is the latest of those.
Promise from everybody is that they're going to whip through.
I'd like to suggest in passing that perhaps somewhere down the track we might look at an amphibian emblem, and that the southern corroboree frog would be an excellent choice. It's something that's found only in a sort of 400 square metre patch of the ACT and southern New South Wales, and many other states and territories have an amphibian emblem, but I suspect that that's some way down the track. When I'm out and about in the Tibimbilla Nature Reserve and Namadgi National Park doing some bushwalking and trekking, it hasn't been possible to see wild populations of the southern brush-tailed rock wallaby now, but I'm hopeful that with the success of the breeding programs and the captive breeding programs being undertaken, that in the wild we will see southern brush-tailed rock wallabies in the future, and when my children and grandchildren and their children will be able to see them in the wild as they used to be. And the hard work of the ACT Parks and Conservation Service might bring that dream to reality. It would be a great experience to see those wallabies clambering up the rocky slopes around the Tibimbilla Nature Reserve and peering down at us as we pass by. You can see other types of kangaroos and wallabies, but unfortunately not at the moment, the southern brush-tailed rock wallaby. So it is an important symbol for the ACT. I'm pleased that common sense has prevailed and we haven't come to too